Hey guys, today I'm going to teach you how to make this cuff. I'm going to call this the wave cuff, and I've made a different style down here so that it looks like knit ribbing. So this part is made flat. You start here and then you're going to crochet this way, and then you join it in the round, and this part is made in the round. So you're going to need of your secondary color, which is just the color for the top here, about 75 yards, and to make 2 pairs of cuffs you should have 200 yards of your main color. So that's my blue here, and this can be made to any size leg. So start off with a slip knot on your hook, and then we're going to chain 13, and we're going to be doing half double crochets. So skip that very first chain and half double crochet into each chain down the row. And the way you half double crochet is you're going to yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all loops on the hook. You should end up with 12 half double crochets. Now you want to chain 1 and turn. We're going to make ridges that look like knitting, but they're crocheted. Now when you usually half double crochet, you go through the top loops. So I would go through here, the lips on the top. However, since we want to push these lips downward to form the ridges, we're going to go through this back loop right here. So just this one right here, and do our half double crochets. So we're going to do 12 half double crochets just in those back loops. So we're not going through here, we're turning our work and going through this loop right here. Then chain 1 and turn. Now you should be able to see that your stitches have pushed a line of ridges to the front by doing the half double crochet through the back loop. You see these ridges that we pushed forward last time? We're going to go into the second loop for this row. So we usually go through both loops when crocheting. However, for the second row, we're just going to go through the one furthest away from you. Now you should have something like this with 2 pretty ridges. You're going to chain 1 and turn, and now we're going to repeat row 1. As you remember, row 1, instead of going through both loops like this on the top, we're going to skip those loops entirely and go through this back loop right here. Then you're going to chain 1 and turn, and we're going to repeat row 2, which is to go through the loop furthest away from you. Now you should have one side, the right side, which is starting to make these rows, and the wrong side, which looks like this. We're going to keep repeating rows 1 and 2 until the desired width can be wrapped around your leg. Alright, so now we have a piece that's long enough to wrap around wherever we want to wrap it. And as you can see, there are ridges on one side and basically nothing on the other side. So we're going to seam it up. So leave a long tail so that you can have a good enough first seam, and then just pull through. And then all we're going to do is use a yarn needle to just seam up the edge. So now we have a cuff. I just sewed up one side and then tied the 2 ends together. Now taking your same color of blue, we're going to single crochet around the top. So just insert your needle into an area, pull up a stitch, single crochet. Now you want a certain amount of stitches around the top in order for the lace portion to work correctly. You want all of your stitches to be able to be divided by 6 when you're done. So you want your stitches to be in multiples of 6. And do this till you get back to the beginning, and then pull out a stitch so that you have a loop there. We're now going to switch yarns, but we're just going to leave this loop here so we can go back to that color later. So get your new color, and what you're going to do is you're going to wrap this around your needle twice. Now you have your loop right here, you want to go into the next stitch right after that loop. We're going to do a double crochet. So pull up a loop, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. We're now going to do 4 more double crochets into that same stitch. So you should have 5 double crochets total. Now you're going to skip 2 stitches and do a single crochet in the 3rd stitch. Now you're going to skip 2 stitches and do 5 double crochets in that 3rd stitch. And then you're going to skip 2 more stitches and do a single crochet in the 3rd stitch. You're going to repeat this pattern all the way around until you get back to the beginning. Once you're back at the beginning, you'll see you have 2 stitches and one's attached to your loop. Move your loop behind, and then what you're going to do is slip stitch into the top of that very first stitch to pull it down to where it's supposed to be. Then you're going to pull out a loop of this color, and we're going to switch back to the blue color. So just move this out of the way and stick your hook back in the blue color. Now what you want to do is chain 2 and single crochet into that middle double crochet. So you count 1, 2, 3. You want to single crochet into the top of this 3rd double crochet. Now we're going to do 5 double crochets into the top of this single crochet. And then we're going to single crochet into that middle double crochet from the previous row again. So you can count 1, 2, and then single crochet into that 3rd double crochet. Then we're going to do 5 double crochets into the next single crochet. Then you're going to single crochet into the top of that other row's double crochet again. So you can count 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to just repeat this pattern all the way around until we get back to the beginning. When you get back to the beginning, you're going to see there's this loop here from your previous row. Just make sure that is behind. And then slip stitch into the very top of that very first single crochet. And pull out another loop. So that was row 1, and now we're going to do row 2. So pick up your color again and chain 2, and now you're going to do 5 double crochets into the very top of this single crochet from the previous row. And then in the middle of these double crochets, so you can count 1, 2 until you get to the 3rd one, you're going to do a single crochet. And you're going to repeat this all the way around until you get back to the beginning. When you get back to the beginning of round 3, you want to move your loop to the back of the work and then slip stitch into the very top of your first double crochet and pull out another loop. Alright, as you can see here, I've repeated rows 1 and 2 one time, and now I'm going to repeat rows 1 and 2 again, and that will finish off my cuff. And then I'll have 4 rows of this color and 3 rows of this color. When you get to the last stitch of row number 3, you're going to cut your yarn and just pull through. And now all that's left to do is to weave in your ends, and you have your pretty little new boot cuff that looks like ocean waves.